Hi everyone. Yeah, thanks for coming to this talk. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much to the organizers who put this event together. It's amazing, and yeah, I think this is my second time at this conference, and I'm excited to be here again. So yeah, in this conference, I'm going to be speaking about styling your React.js components for reuse. So the goal of really building with JavaScript is speed. Okay, probably not like the number one goal, but this is one major thing we use static websites. It gives us that unique speed that we need, that we want in building our apps. When we use Gatsby, we get speed, we get a whole bunch of things together that makes Gatsby as fast as it is. When we use GridSum by Vue, we get speed, we get a whole bunch of things. But when we are coding, we want to really work as fast, like really fast. We want to style components out. We don't. There's so many limitations that are in CSS, using a regular HTML and CSS to style. There are so many limitations. So using like a regular CSS to style your JavaScript components, there are so many limitations. Even using CSS, so many limitations that I'm going to be covering and fixing them here in this talk. So yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, welcome to Just With and Friends conference. So let's move forward. So a little bit about me. My name is Shodipo Ayomide. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm sure some people out there know where Nigeria is. It's in Africa. Amazing country, beautiful people, amazing food. The Nigerian jollof rice, amazing things out here in Nigeria going on. You should check out. Yeah, just check out Nigeria somewhere. Just follow Nigerians, a whole bunch of them on Twitter. Follow them. Ask me for their handles. I'm gonna send them to you. And yeah, so I work as a senior developer advocate at Flick. Also a community, so I do like a whole bunch of community work that I'm really proud of. For example, I run on Stack Africa, which is currently in 6 African countries as of today, promoting the workshop cycle across people and creating technical talent across countries. And also the developer circles Lagos from Facebook, which is the largest dev circles in the world since 2018 to date. We have the open source community Africa, also the open source community in Africa, in almost every technical active country in Africa. So yeah, it's exciting about the work we do here in Africa, and I just always love to talk about them because it's so exciting about how much we are impacting and changing Africa, and how much more we can change Africa and also change the world at the same time. So there's also DevRel Collective, which is the largest DevRel Slack channel that you can see out there, with DevRelers managers and DevRelers from across like anywhere, from Google, from Twitter, from Gatsby, from Vasil, from Netlify, from Facebook, from Twitter, like any company you can think of that has DevRels. At least one of them must be in DevRel Collective. If none, send them the link. You just search DevRel Collective on Google, you should find something. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at developer.io. I tweet a lot, and yeah, you can follow me on GitHub to stay updated with what I do at developer.io also. Also, you can check out a tool I created called Image Hive recently. I just launched this yesterday. Yeah, so imagehive.co. So yeah, let's move forward. Let's get started. I'm excited. Are you? So I'm going to talk a little, it's so much about style components. Based on all I'm going to talk about today is going to be covering style components itself. So building reusable React components are based on style components because this is the best way to really utilize style components. There are so many ways we can utilize style components, but this is one of the best way you can think of, ways working with extended styles and other ways I'm going to talk about below. But yeah, style components is really amazing, and I think it's something you should like really work with. So yeah, what's Style Components? So Style Components basically is a library that covers styling at a per components level and addresses some of the limitations of which CSS often have, and gives developers a lot of work. So basically, as we know, Style Components is a library, and so it helps you style per component that you deliver in your project or in your app. So you style per components per, like, so a simple like line, that's like just you can style per line however you want to style. It makes everything super easy. Most of my slides are a whole bunch of code, but so you're gonna love this one. So basically, yeah, let's move forward again. So while using style components, the style is directly put in a component, which means you are basically creating a React component with styles every time you use the style component library. So to use style components library in any of your projects, first things first, you have to install this project. in that project itself. You have to install this library in that project itself by using the regular yarn command or the npm, whichever package manager you use. So as usual, yarn add style components, fetches it from npm, or you use npm I style components, the same thing. But I use mostly yarn because for me it's kind of always faster for me. But you use npm, that's fine also. You have same commands, and yeah, after installing this into your node modules, and you'll see a reference from this in your package.json. I think you will, under your dependencies, you will see style components, and you're going to see the version. Once it appears, they just know it's installed. So yeah, so once you have installed it as a dependency, the next thing is to really import it, because once it's installed, you still have to really use it in every page. You really have to install it in every page that you want to use this resource in. So using the import style from style components, that's basically how you get started. So in every file, in every page you want to, let's say for example in your index.js file, before you can use any style component command or syntax, you have to import style component itself if you are just starting out with style components. So yeah, this is a very small example of how you can use style components. So right here we have a style component with the elements as h1. So we have a style component element as h1, but then in this style component, the style should be, background color should be blue, and the align should be center. So look at what I'm returning that the user would be seeing. I'm saying this is a title. So because I am wrapping this around a style tag, automatically it's going to pick the component style I am referencing in the style above. If you look, I think I use my mouse over here. So automatically the style this is going to be taken is going to be blue, and it's going to be in the center of the page. It definitely has to be that, because why? I have defined it here saying this should be, and also remember I am setting this to I'm setting the elements to be h1. So I'm saying the component style should get the heading of header 1 h1. So I'm setting the elements to h1 of these components. So it's going to be in the h1, and it's also going to be color blue. That's the background color of this. Is the title is going to be blue, and text align is also going to be in the center. So it's going to be blue, it's also going to be in the center. It's also going to have h1. So that's basically what this is doing. So one major factor, so this is one way you can use style components and use reusable components, but I'm really building on something, so let's just move on and you will truly understand when I get to the end. So next we're going to talk about extending style components. So we can have a whole bunch of styles like title, date, components. So these are basically mini components, are just components that we have on a website that we want to return certain value or want to reuse. We want to get the styles to be able to be, so that we're able to like reuse them every time. Probably like in your project, like let's say it's a blog, you have like titles concurrent, like it's always coming back. You have dates always coming back, description always coming back, and you always just want to like just make it like super easy to style what exactly you are returning to the user. So remember I said we're creating a component, name of title, and it's going to be h1. The date is also going to be a div, and the description is going to be a paragraph. I'm adding elements paragraph over here, div h1. Really simple. So for the title, we're saying the color will be red. That's the text color will be red. Font weight will be 150. Text align will be in the center. So the dates will be blue. Font weight 150. Margin bottom 6. Text align center. Description color is going to be green. Font weight 150, text align center. That's basically what this is saying in our style components. So now let's dive into what exactly the client sees. So here we have what the client sees. We have declared how we want the style to look like, and all we really have to do is really declare those components in tags. You can see right now we have it as title, then welcome to image hive, then like we have title tag, we have the date tag, and we have the description tag. So automatically when we wrap this around title, you automatically get the component style defined here already. And remember, one major thing I just want to talk about is when you are declaring components and you have titles, and you have like, so you write in your under your component you have the T as a small letter. You never use the T as a capital letter when you're actually creating your tags. You don't do that. Probably might be like, okay, probably in HTML I'm always writing like small letter T's and all of that. So here, if you write small letters here, you have to have small letters here. If you have capital letter here, uppercase, you must have uppercase here also. So every tag you're seeing here is going to take the style of what we have here. Exactly, we're extending the styles to what we have here to these tags. Now let's still move forward. So it's not just text this can work for. You can also extend styles from your style components design to a button. You can create a button that you want to be concurrent, and all you have to do is really just create a component called button, make it a button. Now you can see these are the parameters, these are the elements we are setting for our button. So number one should be, so when you hover, the pointer should, like, it should be a pointer, margin 1%, border 0%. We're setting the padding, we're setting colors, we are setting background to sky blue. That's the background of the button itself, the font weight and the opacity when it's being hovered on upon. So we have done this in styled components. Now let's see what the user sees. So right now, this is what the user sees. Once you have, now remember I said we also have to import style components in every page. We are going to be using style components. So now, under this component right here, we have defined the component style here again, and we are saying we put the button in the div as usual. So now we are saying this button, remember the tag, I'm using the capital letter B, and look at what I defined here. The component I defined here has the title button, and I have it here also as button. So automatically this takes the style of what I have here in my style components. So it takes all of this style. So automatically, anytime I want to create a button anywhere off my page, I don't have to rewrite CSS or start doing things like paragraph or div equals class name, then give it a class, then highlights that as an element in my CSS or in my SCSS file. I don't have to do any of that anymore. So when you want to like create a new button, all you have to do is just use that same tag called button, add the button name and close the tag, and automatically fetches the style I have in my style component and gives it back to me as a regular button as I used for. It just gives you consistency, and also it just helps you make everything like super easy when you are building apps like really fast. So you don't need to write like any CSS anymore. Like you don't need to write like so much CSS anymore, like a whole chunk of CSS all the time. So this is one of the beauties of style components. I'm gonna explain better so you can understand as we move forward. So next, we would learn how to make components reusable by transferring the ownership of the content to the parent components. Now, so this is what we're going to do. So we have a similar thing that we had before. So now we have the title. So we have a style component here again. So now under the style, we have a tag. So we have the title to be welcome to Mage Hive, and we have the dates to be in parentheses and date. So basically what this is going to get the dates of their current location based on their computer. So that's what this is going to get. So that's why we have it in parentheses, and we didn't put it like a valid date. We wouldn't want to do that. Next we have the description. Then we have what exactly the description is. So we want to be able to have concurrent details. We want to make this reusable. Now remember, we are not building dynamic components here. We are building things that you can reuse. Remember, it's not components that can change. This won't change. We are presetting this. So every time we need this exact details, we just call it in parentheses from the parent component.
It's 11 o'clock.
That's exactly what we are going to do. Now, this is preset. This is not dynamic. This doesn't change because we are presetting this. Understand? We are saying the title should be this. The description should be this. So when we are calling it, every time on our website is always going to give us the same thing back, because why? These are being preset data that is being called from somewhere. So take a look at this. So in our style components, we'll simply just grab these props that we have right here and apply them inside the render method, and we have the same data and style from the parent. So automatically now we have it as now. So I'm going to take you. So we have all of this. Remember, title, date, and description. So every time, so this is what the client is in right now. We are declaring is this syntax saying title should be this. We are putting them in parentheses here, saying this title that we wrote here in our style should come over here. Now remember something. I styled this a while back. Yeah. So let's take a look at it. So I'm saying the style should be this for title, the date should be this, and the description should be this. That's just a style. So automatically we have the style. We have the style being consistent, and we have the details being consistent. So these are being reusable. So these are becoming reusable data that we can use in our code base anytime we're working. So anytime you would like to really not have your data being like want to do like one thing over and over and over and over again, so you can just preset this data using style components and really just call them, just put them into a parent class and just like call them in parentheses. Say you just call the title saying title, then call the dates, call the description, and everything just appears. Because why? Yeah, style components makes everything super easy for you. Remember, I said I've styled this before. I have also preset it right here. So preset data, also preset my styles done already. So every one of that is done already. So yeah, thank you. And any questions? I'm super excited about this. The goal really of all I've spoken about today is really to make you like work really fast anytime you're trying to build apps or you're trying to build like anything you're trying to build with style components. The goal is speed. When you're trying to build something, the goal is that you're starting now and you don't have to repeat code base. You don't have to do anything like copy and paste. You just have to like just create a simple tag like button tag less than like greater than rather button less than, then add the content of the button, that's the button name, then close the tag. So automatically this creates a button for you with preset styles, and there's a consistency in design of all the button, and this is super important when designing components or building components, and style components helps us fix this. So yeah, if you got any questions about style components, post them in the comment section and I will take a look right away. Thanks guys, looking forward to the questions if there are any.